Sound, made up of vibrations, frequencies, which we can hear, and on the lower scale we can't hear, and on the higher scale we can't hear, but made up of vibrations nevertheless. Now, are these vibrations the same vibrations in the law of vibrations and the law of attractions? And do they work on similar principles? Well, let's have a look. Welcome back to the Bric-a-Brac shop. Now, this is the place for the paranormal, the spiritual, and the unexplained. And I'm Tom from the shop. So welcome back. Sound waves, made up of vibrations. Now, to understand sound is basically the vibration of one surface affecting the particles surrounding it till it arrives at a receiver and can be interpreted. Now, these particles can be basically a medium like air, water, solids. That's why you can knock on the wall and someone on the other side of the wall can hear you knocking, because the vibrations have traveled through the wall, through a solid. And that's basically the principles of sound, putting it simply. Now, that is what humans can hear. And they can hear in a frequency range between 20 to 20,000 hertz. Now, anything lower than 20 hertz becomes infrasound. And there is so many things that actually operate on that level. And if you go to the other extreme, beyond the 20,000 hertz, we can't hear sound, but some animals can. And you can also start doing things with the frequency range, like take pictures. Now, if you do find this video interesting, do click the like button and tell your friends and share it and discuss it with your friends as well. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, or if it's your first time, please subscribe and click the bell and the notification icons as well, so you'll be notified when I do release new videos. And if you want to buy me a drink, please do. You'll help the channel and help me too. And the links are below. And check out affiliate links as well for that, like our spiritual store that we're affiliated with. It's the Psychic Tree, and it's the UK #1 spiritual shop. Quite reasonably priced, and they have reasonable worldwide shipping. And for your first order, you do get 10% off. So do check it out. And all our other links down there below. Now, sound. You have 20 to 20,000 hertz, which is what the human ear can hear. And then you go off to the lower frequencies. Anything approximately below 20 hertz, you can't really hear. But there are sounds that are generated and which our body can pick up. Now, they say the most dangerous infrasound is 7 hertz. Because apparently that is the medium alpha rhythm frequency of the brain and organs. Now, if someone is exposed to the 7 hertz vibrations over a long period of time, it can cause disorientation, anxiety, bowel spasms, nausea, vomiting, and possible death as well. In fact, a few years ago, there was a paranormal investigator, Vic Taylor, who was actually investigating a place where people were experiencing exactly that, nausea, and also seeing apparitions. And what he actually found was actually quite scientific, because what was causing this was an extractor fan that was installed in the building. It was producing this sound, this noise, this low frequency that was actually causing these symptoms. So nothing really paranormal there, but it was creating these strange effects on people. So once they stopped that fan, people around there started to begin to feel okay again. In fact, around the 19 hertz, that affects the eyeballs. Some people who are exposed to that actually say they can begin to see apparitions. Interesting. Which makes you think that sometimes where people always feel sick or have headaches, it could actually be the infrasound which they are not aware of, like extractor fans, air conditioning ducts, things that create a slight hum, which usually we can't detect ourselves. And these low frequency sounds can also be used in pest eliminations, like they do have devices that give off these frequencies to like drive away mice or cockroaches because they don't like the sound and they go away. And also you have, especially in the UK, you have the mosquito sonic device. Now, these are actually devices placed around areas like shops where they don't want teenagers or young people hanging around or loitering around. And so they put this sound, usually affixed to the side of a building, and it emits this low frequency sound, which apparently younger people can hear, not so much the older people, but the younger people can hear, and it disturbs them. And so they unknowingly move away. And that is one device to get people to move away from certain areas. And also the military have been working on these low frequency sounds to use as weapons. And they use it on events like protesters and marches. When things get out of hand, they can actually use it to drive people back because of the sound effects. It just makes them feel ill and they just retreat. Now, going to the other extreme, when you get beyond the 20,000 hertz into ultrasound, which the humans can't hear, animals still can. Animals like dogs can hear about 45 kilohertz, cats can hear 64 kilohertz, and bats can hear up to about 100 kilohertz, if not about 200 kilohertz. And insects can hear ultrasound as well. And it's more of a protection for them to escape being a bat's prey. Now, if animals can hear ultrasound, this higher frequency range that humans can't hear, but animals can, like dogs and cats, and they can actually, as some people say, sense spirits being around. Do you think spirits and ghosts may actually vibrate on a very high frequency, like in the ultrasound range, so we can't pick up on it, but dogs and cats can, which is probably why they're susceptible to the paranormal? What do you think about that? Now, if we keep going up on the frequency range to about like the 3 to 4 gigahertz, which is quite high, you then begin to be able to take pictures, to create images, which is ultrasound, which is what they use in the medical field. And they can take ultrasounds of unborn babies and see also inside the body. And this is done by reflecting the vibrations back to the sensors. And in a way, it's a bit like how bats see, because bats are blind, but they use these sonar devices so they can see where they're going, and they can actually fly and fly in the dark because, as we all know, bats are blind. So this gives you an idea of the range of the frequencies in the vibrations of sound. And do you think this could be how vibrations in the law of attraction works, like attracting like? And I found a very interesting correlation. Maybe it's coincidence, but maybe it does work the same way. The tuning fork. Now, if you get a tuning fork that is tuned to, let's say, 528 hertz, the miracle frequency, as some people say, and you hit that tuning fork and it vibrates, well, apparently it will send a vibration through the air to the receiver. Now, if there is another tuning fork that is tuned to the same frequency, like 528 hertz, let's say, it will begin to vibrate as well. And we call this, we say this has caused a sympathetic resonant vibration in the other fork. So the other fork starts to vibrate, creating the same vibrations. Now, if you stop the original fork, the second fork is still vibrating on that frequency. So you could say it's passed the energy to the other fork to carry on the vibrations. Is this how manifestation works? The law of attraction, the law of vibration. If you're vibrating on one level in a happy state and you're putting out a particular desire, which is good, will you attract that because you are vibrating on that state? Very interesting question. I do know that you do have to be in a good place of well-being and calmness and contentment for you to attract things. Because I've noticed when I have been on that level, things have popped up. So that's something to think about. What do you think? Let me know, write in the comments below and let me know what you think. And if you enjoy this episode, if you've got some value out of it, please like the episode and tell your friends and share it. And as I've said, if you haven't subscribed as yet, or if it's your first time, welcome, and please subscribe and click the bell on the icon so you'll be notified when I do release more videos. And I've got more coming up on manifestation and also having a look at some ghosts as well, because I believe they are all intertwined. And I think we're fascinated with ghosts and maybe the Ouija board and that sort of thing, only because we don't understand it. And once we do, it'll be just like turning the switch on the wall and turning the light on. That's my thought on it. So do subscribe and stay connected so you won't miss out when I bring more videos to you. And if you want to get me a drink, it'll be most appreciative. You'll help the channel and help me as well. And the links are below. And also links to our affiliates like the Spiritual Store, the Psychic Tree, and our other links there as well. So have a browse through the links. So thanks for joining us and watching and staying this far into the video. And I hope I see you next time. So until then, stay well and happy.